Hi, Shannon. This is my Rise review. I love you. I'm sorry for being a disaster person. Um, so let's start with reflect. How did my attitude, logic, and behaviors influence my projects? I think that I approached each of the projects with a pretty um, hard to describe my attitude more than just kind of like, oh, let's see what's going on. Let's try to learn something about research. I actually kind of like research, so this stuff is interesting and kind of fun to do. Especially that one with the TED Talk. I quite liked that one. He was quite an interesting individual, and I agree with a lot of the points he was making about the way data is presented and visual learning. A lot of the stuff I already kind of agreed with. So seeing somebody really talk about it like that was like, oh man, this is cool and fun. Yeah. I guess I definitely could have been a little more timely with my projects, but that's kind of really the only. Inquire. As I started working on my projects, I realized that I wanted to know more about what resources are available to me. Um, yeah, I guess this is kind of goes back to what I wanted to know more about is again back to that TED Talk and like visual. I guess if I have more time and now I will look more into that because some of the ways that he was displaying data was really interesting, like especially at the beginning when he had the blocks that represent, because money becomes very abstract once it gets to the point of like billions of dollars. Like there's no way for 90% of 90 something percent population to really conceptualize what $1 billion is, it looks like, and being able to look at it in that form was very, very helpful. So I think being able to sort of, for me to find new ways to represent data and information, that would be something that I'm sort of interested in. If I had more time, what I would have, what could I have done differently to improve my projects? I don't have that much experience in a lot of the Adobe products yet, like the video editing for the first project. I spent a lot of time like not even working on making the project good, I guess. Like the ads, the first ad, it was more a lot of time spent just figuring out how it worked, like figuring out how to put this audio overlaid over this video and put this video here and then the bumpers and yeah, because Pete's class kind of touched on it very quickly, but like there was not really an in-depth sort of tutorial, so I spent a lot of time figuring it out. I mean, the good news is that now I know how to use it, which now I guess is going to be helpful for future projects. But yeah, I guess I would have had more time to make that better, I think. Elevate. How does my experience working in media research inform support my professional objectives? How will I use this in my career? Research is important. I know that seems very silly and like obvious, but it's not just research. It's what your research represents. It's research not even just in a vacuum, but like, okay, what is this research? Certainly, we performed some surveys and we figured out that 40% of people like ketchup, but like, what does that mean? Where did we survey? Do people like ketchup versus mayo? People like ketchup and mayo? Do ketchup like? There's data that is data in a vacuum is not helpful. I guess is sort of data requires some sort of, it requires context. Yeah, I guess that's sort of the big takeaway. Well, thank you, Shannon, for the class. I love you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Okay, goodbye.